Well, good morning, everybody on the West Coast, and good afternoon to everybody on the East Coast, Ontario, Montreal, Atlantic. Welcome to the first Hear from the Pro series. My name is Sean Wadess, National Sales Manager with Verico Canada. We're extremely pleased for a large audience today and a great initiative from our National Advisory Council. For those of you who don't know, our National Advisory Council is made up of 15 broker owners that are segmented provincially across Canada. And they dedicate some time, once a month minimum, as well as a full day session once a year as well, to really contribute to on ideas and initiatives that Verico Canada is working on, thoughts, industry issues that we're all dealing with, but as well as create some new ideas to help better our network. We have a fabulous network, as you all know, and this is a series that the National Advisory Council has created. We plan on having this on a regular basis, so you can hear from some of the other great producers we have in the network and how they've become successful on different topics and ideas. So our host today and for the foreseeable future for the Hear from the Pro series, who's heading up this whole initiative, is Jared Dreyer. He's not only the chair of our National Advisory Council, he's also involved in MBABC at a very high level as well, and been recognized as one of the top producers across Canada over the years as well. So very pleased to have Jared hosting this, and I'm going to pass it over to Jared to take on today's session.
Great. Thank you very much, Sean. I thank everyone for taking the time out today. Just to give you a quick rundown, what we're going to do here is we're going to have kind of an interview series here with Bernadette, and we're going to try and keep it under 30 minutes for you. And I do have a list of questions here I'm going to be asking Bernadette, and we'll go through those. And then obviously, if we have time, we'll have a Q&A afterwards on that part of it. But first of all, I'd like you to introduce Bernadette. And Bernadette, if you could quickly tell us a little bit about yourself right now, that would be fantastic.
Oh, good morning, everyone. My name is Bernadette Laxamana. I'm going my 10th year in the broker industry, and I'm based in Burnaby, BC. Our company is Verico MNB Mortgage Solutions, and currently we have 10 brokers altogether in our company. I'm very pleased to be here and to share what I know and what I've been doing in the past 9 or so years. Thank you, NAC, for inviting me today.
Great. Well, we're very honored to have you, Bernadette, and we look forward to this session. So why don't we jump into it? So our first question for you, Bernadette, is number one is clients can go to their bank, and usually the bank will match your rate. How do you compete on this?
Well, this is common in our industry. I find the best way for me to compete is by having a connection with a client. I call it connection. Others call it bond, relationship, rapport. When I have a connection, then I would have the right language, the right objection, or the right words to use to reinforce why they're choosing to deal with me and use my solution, whether the rate that the bank is offering is the same or not. How do I make that connection? We currently have a system in place where we listen and understand the client's greatest desires and their deepest fears. Once we have those two nailed down, then we are connected. They, in turn, listen and trust us. However, if a client is just rate shopping or doesn't really care for anything else but the lowest rate, then the relationship would be transaction-based, very cold, mechanical. We choose not to deal with those clients. At the end of the day, I want the clients to work with me because they like me and trust me along with my team, not because I have the lowest rate.
I couldn't agree more with you on that, Bernadette. And I think, you've hit a couple of key things there for everyone listening, is you need to figure out the desire and also the fear of your clients. And I think what you have to do is really spend the time up front with your clients, and you really have to ask the question of why are they buying and why are they refinancing. And that way it will create the bond with you so that they aren't rate shopping. So great answer on that, Bernadette.
Oh, thank you.
Your number 2 question here for you is, what strategy do you advocate for your clients when they're coming to meet with you, and why?
I use what I call feel-at-home strategy. There's a guy named William Burnaby, and he said, nothing is so powerful as an insight into human nature. What compulsions drive a man, what instincts dominate his actions. If you know these things about a man, you can touch him at the core of his being. We strive to make the client feel so at home with us that they will tell us anything and everything that they want or don't want, and then we do our best to deliver above and beyond their expectation, and most importantly, make that important connection. I remember that clients buy for their own reasons, not my reasons. For example, we have a client from Victoria who came to us and said, I want a variable rate mortgage. And my broker said, I will not qualify with the insurer. Well, after carefully analyzing their situation, we found a way to get them an approval. When they went to RBC to withdraw their RSP, RBC, without looking at their profile, offered them prime minus 80. Well, this was when us brokers could only get prime minus 20. Remember our Feel at Home strategy. We understand our clients and know how to speak their language. My account manager reiterated our value proposition first and said, picture yourself as a farmer. You plant the grain, you work the field, and when it's time to harvest, somebody else will reap the harvest. Had you gone to RBC before meeting us, they would have said exactly what the other broker said. But after we have done all the work, negotiated, and worked hard with the insurer to make sure you have an approval, RBC, without looking at your profile and understanding your needs, want to reap the benefits. Is this what you want? The client decided to stick with us. A whopping 0.60% gap, and he stayed. We use analogies a lot. When we talk to the clients, we always use facts and stories, facts and stories. Facts will come and go, but typically the stories will stay in their minds. Another recent example, the client was sold at 3.99 for 10 years. And she said she heard about 2.99% all over the news, but her broker said, no, 3.99 for 10 years is better for you. And she truly didn't understand why. She brought it up a couple of times to her broker, and the broker kept convincing her about the 10 years. This is a broker that she has been dealing with for over 8 years. When we consulted with her, we took the time to listen and understand her needs. What does she want? And there was a way to give her 2.99%. She was so happy. She asked where we have been all these years. She said she feels so at home with us that she could talk to us at any time about anything, and she feels safe and comfortable and taken care of. Both clients, by the way, have referred us already. Truly listening to the client is key to making that connection and finding the best solution for them, not for us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Bernadette. I think there is a lot of people are trying to use strategies and and some of them, I call them sometimes even gimmicks that are out there in the marketplace to try and hook people into different things. And I don't think clients are too smart now. I think if you really look at it, the internet is they can go on the internet and see what interest rates are. What they're looking for is, why should I be in this type of product? Just to share a quick story with you, when I had the similar client that had 2.99 with BMO, and by taking 20 minutes to talk to the clients and meet with them and go in there, we actually went with a Scotia 2.79 3-year because it better fit what their long-term plans were. And those are the kind of things that you have to view, is to present alternatives to your clients and present why they should look at these alternatives and let them make the best informed decision.
There you go, informed decision and giving them the choice, right? Not us pushing stuff to them. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Very key on that part of it. So our next question is, what is the top change initiative you've done in your business that was the most effective?
Well, this is a big one. So top change initiative in the last, I'd say the last 12 months. I have implemented 6 big changes in the last years. First, to summarize, I added or hired account managers. Second, I analyzed my target market. Third, I've gone on speaking tours. Fourth, I've documented systems. Fifth, I focused on daily creativity. And finally, I sent my team on a leadership training. Let me talk about them real quickly, one by one. I recently I hired 2 account managers in the last year, and I just hired a 3rd one. I want to make sure I deliver above and beyond my clients' expectations, and I recognize I'm not doing this alone. I recognize that I'm not superwoman. I'm not the only one who could do it all. It took me 8 years, but I finally got it. Now we serve clients 100 times better. The second change is when I took a demographic and psychographic analysis of my target market. I don't know if you know it, Jared, but there are over 80,000 Filipinos in the Lower Mainland, and 55.8% belong to my target age group. I truly narrowed down my target market profile and took the time to understand their drives, emotional motivations, and purchase preferences. And then I created the languages and the systems to fit my market. For example, after doing this demographic analysis, we changed our hours to 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock instead of before when for the past 9 years it's been 9 to 5. Again, we improve our service with this change. Clients and realtors, they're so happy when we did this. The third thing is I took Toastmasters. I had a huge public speaking phobia. When I'm speaking in front of people, my knees wobble and my hands tremble. I'm much better now. And then I facilitated several speaking engagements with various Philippine associations. My audience ranged from 15 people to 100 people. My topics range from top home buying mistakes to financial literacy. We are reaching more of those 80,000 Filipinos. Fourth one is I started documenting our systems. I have documented systems for how we record our personal voicemail, how we ask for referral, how we take pre-approval, etc. By doing so, I have created efficiencies in those areas. The fifth one is to be creative. I implemented something new every day. I listen to Brian Tracy, and I read lots of books, listen to audio tapes on sales, marketing, business development, etc. However, I know that reading and listening alone will not get me anywhere without taking action. Therefore, every day, I implement something new based on what I heard. It could be as little as a mind shift change or as big as a process change. Example, every morning, my team and I will listen to a sales audio for 10 minutes. The next thing, one time I learned from Brian Tracy that people are motivated 2.5 times more to avoid loss than they are for desires for gain. In other words, if you offer a person $1 to do something, they have a certain amount of motivation. If you threaten to take away $1, if they don't do it, their motivation is 2.5 times as high. We now use both desire for gain and fear of loss in our presentation of solution. So just little things like that, we implement little things every day. Finally, I sent my team on a leadership training. Now, I find my team more accountable, they demonstrate more ownership, and more use of leadership mindset than a victim mindset. This is one of the best things I have ever done. My team members have a better relationship with their personal image, each other, with clients, and most importantly, even their own family. We communicate better, we are more accountable, we're solutions-driven, we are more positive and upbeat than ever before. Truly one of the best investments I have ever made, money-wise and time-wise. So those, I think, are the best initiatives that I have done in the last year.
What a fantastic list. That is some really solid information there, and I hope everyone on the call took some notes on that because those are some key things that it is a constant evolution, this business, and it's a constant learning on this business. And I got to thank you as well, Bernadette, because when I was having this call with Bernadette, she told me about our change in hours. We went to a split shift with our own team, and we have one person work from 8 to 4 and another from 10 to 6. And it's worked out a lot better on that side for client services. So I thank you very much, Bernadette, for that.
Oh.
Next question is follow-up important to your business? And if so, how do you follow up with your clients?
Yes, follow-up is very important. People get busy, they forget, or worse, they get approached by other brokers, their bank, whomever. When our clients get a pre-approval, we start them on an action plan. We use GoMax for this, by the way. Once we send a consultation summary, we follow up with the client 2 days, 7 days, 30, 60, 90, and 120 days after we send it, and then the cycle starts again. It could be via phone call or an email. When the deal is live, we communicate with the client throughout the approval stage, and then we also have reminders to call or email the client at certain points, that is 1 week or 1 day before closing, 1 week and 1 month after closing. Thanks to GoMax, we have the tools to do this consistently. I believe that follow-up is very important in this business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think more people, you have to have a system in place, whether it is GoMax, whether it's your own CRM system, whether it's even Verico has their own CRM system, or it's ACT. You need a system to put in place and put all your clients in there and diarize everything on that side of it. It's extremely important that you follow up in today's marketplace. Our next question is, how often do you touch base with your clients personally and by email or mail? I think you sort of touched on that a little bit there.
Yeah, we touch clients monthly via monthly newsletters and once in a while Filipino video blogs as well. Annually, we send calendars to them. Also, GoMax sends out literature in between. For example, an email gets sent out when it's time to change the clock back or forward or during their annual review time. And there are some reminders, too, that go out reminding the client to check the inventory of their home or how to maintain their home, etc. I have emails from clients, thanking me for all the emails and reminders that I'm sending them. They said they may not be responding, but they wanted me to know that they truly value them. In terms of phone calls, I really try to call at least 7 past clients a day. I wish I could do more. And I write personal notes to keep in touch with them. Last December, we had a movie appreciation day for a select group of clients. I enjoyed that a lot, and I would like to do more. We are currently planning a barbecue for some select clients this summer.
Yeah, I think that is a great idea to do that type of client appreciation events. I know we've done a lot of partner appreciation events ourselves. I mean, you have to recognize the people who are sending you the business, who are your partners in your business. I think a lot of that side. And I think one thing I would add that besides we do everything as well with you as a touch points on all the different various levels and by mail and email and everything. But I really think in today's day and age, one strategy that we're focusing on is calling the client every 90 days. I think you need to call your client every 90 days. It gives you an opportunity to make sure that everything's well in their lives. And also, too, it gives you an opportunity to ask for an introduction to say who is the next person who could use our services. So I think it's very key that you got to keep in touch with your clients because mortgages really are a latent need. People only think about them once they come into their mind. That's part of it.
Oh, 90 days, that's a good idea. Thanks, Jared.
You're welcome. So the last question here we have is, what is the difference in how a broker should consider marketing themselves today versus 5 years ago?
Yes, this is a challenge. Well, nowadays, our clients are bombarded with so much information. There's Twitter, there's blog, there's news, there's thousands of apps out there. Technology is so advanced that we are empowered to communicate with our clients more often than 5 years ago. Now, with all the noise that's going on, our challenge is to be heard above the noise. I do this by giving them items of value, not junk, and not to overdo it. As I said, I try to send something once a month. I think also Facebook is important as a connection tool, not just to proclaim or sell myself, but more importantly for me to know what's really happening in my clients' lives and for them to get to know a little more about me as a real live person, not just a broker. So the next time I make that important phone call or I email them, I have something to talk about that is very close to their heart. But then technology will only get me so far. I think relying on technology to do all my marketing for me is like, being in the ivory tower while the town crier spreads the word. Any leader makes a bigger impact when they visit the town, look into the eyes of their people and shake their hands and ask how they're doing and if there's anything they could do to help. That is when the magic, the connection takes place. Personal notes, follow-up phone calls like what you said, Jared, visits to clients, and organizing or participating in events that give me an opportunity to interact and see my clients are the little things that will keep me connected with them over the next 5 to 30 years.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Bernadette. And I couldn't agree with you more. I think, people really have to, in today's marketplace, be very proactive on their approach to marketing. I think we were probably all very reactive 5 years ago in our approach to marketing, and today you have to be proactive and exactly that, give more information and give a value. If you're not just giving anything of value, you're better off not even sending anything out to your clients, to your partners. And I think you need to have multiple pillars of people that you need to be contacting, not just one source. It's not just database marketing or just real estate marketing. You need to have at least 5 or 7 different pillars that you can market to that are all going to be sending you business in today's marketplace. Very important. So, Bernadette, I thank you very much for that. I think, is there a Q&A? Any questions?
Yeah, what we can do now, folks, is you have the ability to chat in the chat box, some questions that we can respond to within the time frames, as well as we can also unmute the lines for a couple one-off phone questions as well. Now, please keep in mind, when we unmute the lines, everyone will be able to hear what's going on in your background, so please note that right now. We are going to unmute the lines right now, but if you do have some questions, please feel free to chat them in as well, whatever your preference is. The lines will be unmuted right now.
The conference is no longer in lecture mode.
Is there any questions anyone has? Or feel free to chat in some questions as well. What you may not know, and I'm going to just say something about Bernadette, who's been with Verico from almost day one. I mean, she came in as I hope she's okay with it, as an agent, a high-producing agent, but with trepidation about being a business owner, and then became a successful brokerage business with lots of agents doing lots of volume. And as you can see, she actually won our Growth Award because she's continued to evolve her business now to a place where it's a true business that runs on its own and satisfies her customers' needs on a regular basis. She's done a phenomenal job within the Verico networks and to grow her business. So again, congratulations to you, Bernadette, and please, you've got her on the line here. You've got Jared on the line here. If you do have a couple questions you'd like to ask, we'd love to hear from you. We'll do a final call.
Any questions? All right, then. I guess that's. Do we have one?
Yeah, I was wondering how often, Bernadette, that you speak to each one of your clients. I know you might have a large volume of clients, but how often do you actually speak to them on the phone?
When it comes to proactive calling, a proactive call, I try to make, as I mentioned, about 7 calls a day. If I really push myself, I could do 10 calls a day. But in terms of them contacting me, I'm very quick. Like each time they call me, I'd get back to them within the hour. An email, I'd get back to them the same day. But taking that call, me personally, I'd say, yeah, I target 7 to 10 a day.
Perfect. We have one other question here, Bernadette, for you. What was the most influential sales book that you've read? If there's one go-to book that you go back to.
The one sales book that I go to, all of the Advanced Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy.
That's a great book. I would highly recommend that too.
I love Brian Tracy.
One other quick question. This is a good question here. Is what sort of items do you send to clients? Do you do any type of promotional, like gift certificates or kind of items of that nature at all?
I normally send a gift certificate whenever I get a referral whenever I get a thank you or a referral. Then I send them a gift certificate to thank them.
Right.
Bernadette, we're just going to mute the lines for the background noise. 1 second.
The conference is in lecture mode.
Yeah, so it could be a gift certificate for dinner. It could be a mall gift certificate, stuff like that. And we are currently running a promotion, hopefully this summer, where for every referral that we get, they get entered into a draw to get to own a 42-inch plasma TV. That's the promotion that we're going to run in this summer.
Those are great promotions. I've ran those myself personally. They always are great for clients and always fun to do, and especially when you get to reward the gift to the client. And, of course, in today's marketplace, make sure you capture that on YouTube and do a video and post it on your YouTube and Facebook accounts for you.
Okay, I'll make note of that.
Just for everybody on the call, too. Next question is, what is the one thing a new broker must do to get their business going if you were in today's marketplace?
The one thing that you will do, I remember when I first did this, I contacted everybody that I know. Everybody. I told them what I was doing, and from there I'd say in my first 3 months, I got 3 deals. And then those 3 deals started referring people. But first you got to work with who you know, everybody who knows you. And then second thing I did was I joined different associations and introduced myself. When you're new, you really got to get your name out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think if anything, one thing I always talk about if I have new agents that they are coming in or want to join in, the first thing I say to them, you don't want to be in an office. You should be out of the office, 6 to 8 hours every day with meetings, going to different associations, different groups. You have to get your name out there, your brand out there, to get started for sure.
Exactly, because you got to remember that a lot of people have needs that they're not voicing out, and they just need you there to touch their lives. And for you, if you're stuck in your office, you're really not going to make that connection.
I couldn't agree with you more on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
One other question is here, what kind of written information or brochures do you give to potential clients?
Is this when you say potential, is this when I'm on a speaking tour or I just meet them off the street? If it's a speaking tour, I usually have brochures about top home buying mistakes, and then I give out the CMHC Home Buyer's Guide step by step, and there's top great reasons to use a mortgage broker. Those 3 are out there each time I'm doing a presentation. Now, which is also, incidentally, whenever we have a consultation summary, we send a consultation summary to the client regarding what they've been pre-approved of. And on the bottom, it says, I heard you say. So we repeat what they've told us, and then we also attach those key things, 10 reasons to use a mortgage broker, home buyer steps, and top home buying mistakes.
Yeah, and I think you touched on, just for everyone on the call, I think Bernadette said something that was very important there that picked up on is you repeat what the client has told you and sort of what their needs are. And I think a lot of people, you have to be doing that in this marketplace, is to really repeat, when you ask the questions and you get the answers from the client, repeat back what the client's told you.
They really value that. Like, I noticed the clients say, oh, yeah, that's what I said. I remember that. And also, since we capture that in the section called I Heard You Say, whenever we talk to the client, we mention that again, and it reinforces again that special, that important connection that we want to keep stressing each time we talk to our client. Yeah,
that is a very key point. That's excellent, Bernadette. Thank you for bringing that up. So we'll have one sort of last question here, which ties into what do you think are the best associations to join?
For me, in growing my business, again, you have to really identify what's your target market, right? You can't just be joining any associations out there. In my case, I've identified the Filipino market. Therefore, I've joined and I've spoken in different regional associations or let's just say Filipino Social Workers Association. There's an alumni association in a prominent university in the Philippines that I've decided to speak at and stuff like that. In your case, truly identify. So do you want to be the mortgage broker for, I say, nurses? So join and be present in that association. So identify which area of focus you want to go at, and then really narrow down your focus. Don't be blasting to everybody and joining every single association out there. You got to know what you want, what you're comfortable with, and then pursue that like laser-like focus.
Fantastic advice, Bernadette. It was a pleasure to have you on the call. Definitely, even myself personally, I could say I got some great insight on that, and it was fantastic for you to share that with everyone. And you can see why your energy and everything is so successful. So I really appreciate you taking the time out this morning to share that with us.
Well, on behalf of Verico Canada, we'd like to thank both Jared Dreyer for heading this up, and you'll look forward to more of these here from the Pros Series seminars coming forward. A big thank you to Bernadette Laxamana to not only be a guest speaker, but be the first volunteer to do it, which is always a challenge. Thank you very much. And for all of you for attending today, fabulous. We would love to hear your feedback. You can always send an email to mail@verico.ca. If you like these series, if you have questions or ideas you'd like to hear from in the future, send us an email at mail@verico.ca, and we look forward to having this hopefully on a regular monthly basis. Okay, so thank you for your time. Have a fabulous day, fabulous year, and work hard. If you need anything else, let us know at Verico. Thanks. Bye for now.